Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
It was UConn's second biggest win in the Big East ever.
It was over. I said to you before the game, what I said, we went up and we were hungry because I had to deal with you driving through a snowstorm. So we didn't stop other than for me to go to the bathroom. And then we got here and I said, like, all right, let's go up, get some food. Or you said that. I said, that's fine, but the game might be over by the first TV timeout. And I was kind of joking. It was over by the first TV timeout. Over.
No.
Over.
Xavier hung around until about the 13-minute mark.
It was over. It was an embarrassment. Now, again, Xavier's not very good. And UConn showed that, listen, whether they're 1A or 1B, there are two teams clearly above everybody else right now. Now, again, I would say this. Purdue, to me, has the better resume, and I think you would agree with me. UConn is the better team. UConn is the team that if they went head-to-head and played 1 game, 3 games, 5 games, 7, I'm going to take the UConn Huskies because of a couple different factors. 1, they've been there. They've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
2, because I think they're constructed a little bit better. Like, if you watch them, they look like men. They look like men. Donovan Clingan now looks like the Donovan Clingan that we thought we were going to see from the outset this year. He's healthy. We're going to talk to him here in a little bit later in the show, but they just move the ball. And part of it for me is, honestly, I look at Lance Jones, who didn't shoot it well today but had a good game for Purdue, and I look at Stephen Castle, and I say, Stephen Castle, while he's younger, he's just big, strong, athletic, can guard anybody. Like, you could put him on anybody right now, you know, other than a big, but like any perimeter dude, and he could shut him down. Like, I don't know if I have the same level. And he fits a piece. Well, he's not you're not as reliant on Castle for more than that, right? Like, that's all you need for Castle. He banged a 3 today, and it was like, whoa, okay, if you can do that.
Well, the biggest thing is that it's the size of the guards, right? When you watch Purdue play, and we'll have a longer discussion on like UConn versus Purdue, but Braden Smith is like what, 6'1", 6'2". Fletcher Loyer is like 6'3", 6'4".
They're like
kind of slender.
They're like $160, 70.
Like Lance Jones is like 6'2", 6'3-ish, right? Yeah. Steph Castle's 6'6", and a 19-year-old is built like a 25-year-old. Yes. Cam Spencer is 23 years old, 6'3", and he's built like a guy that grew up playing lacrosse, right? Tristan Newton is 6'4", 6'5", and he's not like the biggest and the strongest dude, but he's still a 6'4", 6'5" guard, and he's the little guard in their backcourt in their starting lineup. Like, that's the biggest thing. But I think the most important point that you made was that Clingan was back. And for my money, this is the first time this season that we have seen Donovan Clingan where he has felt fresh, where he has been healthy, where he hasn't been hampered by a foot issue or a toe issue or another foot issue, where he's had his legs under him and where he's been in shape. Like, both Hurley and Donovan mentioned that he lost some weight this week, which is like, one,
he needed to.
Well, it's crazy that you can like lose that much weight in 1 week. You know what? How Donovan? Give me all the tips, man. I need to figure it out. We know this guy does after spending all this time at Charleston, but he looked lighter on his feet. He looked like he was moving better. And when you get him to the point where he is as dominant guarding pick and rolls and as dominant in drop coverage as he's been, where he is the threat. Like, the whole thing about Clingan to me is that when he's healthy, the threat of him changes everything. It's not so much what he does.
Sure.
It's the threat of what he does.
On both ends of the court.
Yes, it's the lob target when you set a ball screen and he's rolling to the rim, because you have to – he's the best lob catcher in the country right now.
And they have great guys who know how to throw it.
And three of them.
It's great to be a lob catcher. Yes. But, right, when you have Caravan, Spencer, and Newton that all know how to throw it to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you could see there was one play early where Spencer drove. I don't even think he was looking at Clingan. I just think he threw it up there and he kind of saw him out of the corner of his eye, and he's like, this dude's going to go up and get it over Xavier's big.
Put it at the top of the square. No one else is going to get up there, and he's going to find a way to finish it. And then on the defensive end, defensively, he changes everything. Like, he told it to us afterwards.
Yeah.
He had 2 blocks. He thinks he deserved a few more than those 2 blocks. But I call him the Great Wall of Bristol, right? I know everyone says Kling Kong. I call him the Great Wall of Bristol because he changes everything around the bucket, and it makes them – that was the knock on UConn when he was gone. We were like, how are they going to guard? How are they going to get stops? People get to the rim whenever they want.
And they were okay in stretches.
But now it doesn't matter if you get to the rim because you got a 7'3" monster down there.
And he moved well today. That was the one thing to me. There was one play on the baseline. It was like almost like an up and under-ish. I don't even know what he did because we were on the other end. But his mobility, his agility was back. And we really haven't seen that all year because, again, this is a kid that wasn't able to practice. Then at the beginning of the year, he comes out when he comes back healthy, and he wasn't the same. He gets hurt again. He's just not right. I think he's finally right. And to be honest, and I didn't ask Danny about this, but I wanted to, like, how much do you think you need to protect him? Because as good as he looked today, you don't want to push it too hard with Donovan Clingan.
But what did he finish playing, though?
First half box.
Yeah,
so
he only finished playing like 22 or 23 minutes.
But
right?
don't ramp it up. But
here's
just because he looked good tonight.
But if you listen to him afterwards, he said that all we need is Donovan to play like that for 24 or 25 minutes. And if you look at what Adama Sanogo did last year, he only played like 27 or 28 minutes. And the reason why they were so good is because they could switch what they do. And we talked about this after the Creighton game in depth. When you have someone that can play a certain way as a 5-man, and then you bring in someone else that can play a completely different way, and both of those, you're just as good in both of those situations, it makes it so difficult to prepare for and so difficult to deal with as an offense.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.